A very good morning to one and all. Different location for today's show. It's looking a bit challenging for wind direction. They're on 09s, so we're covering for the if I can get my teeth in, for the most part, predominantly departures from 09 right. Kicked off with a lovely British Airways A350 straight into a Virgin Dreamliner. A little something to test my camera skills. Hope everyone's well. Lovely conditions this afternoon. So, as I said, yeah, they're on 09s, but realistically they shouldn't be. So we'll see how long that lasts. Didn't really want to try and do arrivals from the Renaissance because all the planes are just way too far away, really. So something to mix it up a little bit. It's always nice to see different aspect to these aircraft. And of course from this position, you get all the nice big jet climb outs. Beautiful banking departures, and of course, as we like to get right, we're just in time for a nice big British Airways A380. These stay super low once they've left the runway, so we get a lovely side-on view. It's going to be British Airways A380 off to San Francisco, flight number 285. That beautiful blue spring sky. Quick dive into the weather. A balmy 5 degrees C. Still wrapped up pretty much. It's lovely to have sunshine, blue sky and light winds. Who doesn't like that? You see the gusts, not really much more than the sustained winds, just 9 miles an hour in the gust, which might be why, although the wind direction has changed throughout the morning, they haven't changed operations. Quick look into the chat then. Glenn's Aviation. Well, hopefully he'll get to catch some of today's show when he finishes work. J-Ro, very good morning to you. Hope you're well. Mark Abraham, Robert Hilton. Yeah, we're over at the cemetery. I think we've done 2 shows from here in all our time live streaming, so it's a bit of a rarity. Always nice to visit somewhere that isn't often visited. That's it, Robert, round the back of Tesco, more or less. The Hounslow Urban Farm. Cars with Daz, yep, spot on. Kieran and Megs, good afternoon, hope you're well. Just in from work. Oh, isn't that just perfect? Get yourself settled in, chill out. They look just awesome. Nice low climb out. Great low departure from the British Airways A380 off to San Fran. So you can see we're about half a mile away from the threshold of the southern runway. We're looking at planes at the maintenance hangars. Just across to the left, got the tower. We do have a view of some of the bigger stuff coming in on final. So we'll get some zoom action into some of those bits. Already saw a couple of A380s coming in, looking good on the horizon. Membership milestone for Heathrow Joe, celebrating 5 months in the VIP lounge. Thank you for your continued support, Joe, and I hope you're well. Oliver's Aviation, good afternoon to you, hope you're well. Lizzie and Lorraine, our super mods, welcome along, hope you're having a good weekend. Nice tight right hand bank after departure for the Virgin. Noisy one, that one, wasn't it? Stefan, good afternoon to you. Hope you're well. Johan, welcome along. Nice special liveried Turkish A330 launching into the London skies. How nice is it to have sunshine? Daniel Slack, very good afternoon to you, hope you're well. Single aisle narrow body short hauls lining up for departure now. So if you've got the afternoon to yourself and you've got nothing to do, maybe sit in the garden. It's really quite nice out here at the moment. I'm sure it'll get colder as the afternoon creeps on. But yeah, we're in for a nice chilled vibe on today's show. Watching these jets take to the air. Always a bit trickier from here with the smaller ones because they get up a lot higher, a lot quicker. I'm sure we can manage. not quite as easy with the smaller ones. Plenty of big ones to come this afternoon. So how are we all? Looking after your loved ones, I hope, this Valentine's Day. You can see I'm looking after Angelina by sodding off to go and do a stream. She's working, to be fair, so we're okay. I'm not going to be in the doghouse just yet. Michael K, good afternoon to you. Aaron Phillips checking in from East Sussex. Do you have lovely weather there as well this afternoon? Nice to hear the wildlife kicking into action as spring creeps ever nearer. Aaron Phillips, finally some sunshine. Yes. much needed. Heathrow Joe. If you're next to Tesco's, then you're 2 minutes away. However, if you're over by the Renaissance, it's 40 minutes to get here on foot. I've got no idea where you are, Joe. I'm sure there must be a few of you out there over these last few streams thinking that I'm just spending the whole time sniffing just to put your minds at rest. It's the collar of my jacket because it's particularly near to my mic. Every time I lift my arm up, it brushes past. It sounds a lot like I'm being minging. Darminda, good afternoon to you. Hope you're well. Some banking departure. What I really like about this particular position is that it's the only place really around Heathrow you get to see them still quite low with the gear tucked away in proper flight mode. Always great to see. Qantas setting off on what I think is that super long flight to Perth, is it? 17 hours in the air. Yuck. Quiet on that collar down. Yeah, I've tried. Do love this early spring sunshine, but my word, it was cold first thing this morning. Took the little doggy out for his walk around 7 a.m. and locally it was -6. You do get that. I remember going to watch car racing at Brands Hatch in April one year, and we went for the weekend. Took the tent, which froze solid overnight the first night. Absolutely solid, like knocking on the door it was. And yet during the day it was touching double figures. Takes a bit of a while for the temperatures to equalise here in the UK, but we'll take the sunshine. Next heavy departure is British Airways Flight 5, heading off to Tokyo. That one, a Dash 9 Dreamliner, lining up and ready to go. Cars with Daz. Never heard of that place. And it's McGuinness checking in from Bonnie, Scotland. Good afternoon to you. Off and away. It's another long flight, isn't it? Off to Japan. So in the queue for departure, we've got heavies from United, a couple of American triples, and the beautiful Thai Airways. That'll be heading off to Bangkok. suppose I should really ask how we're doing for audio and video. Let me know. Have we got good images and sound? Intersect departure from British Airways off to Brussels before our next heavy, which is United Airlines flight 26, heading off to Denver on a Dash 9 Dreamliner. Lizzie letting us know that audio and sound are both well. Thank you for that, Lizzie. I'm sure the video is good too. Alex is close to Edinburgh Airport, somewhere that's on our list for some live streams during the summer months. Looking forward to getting up there once we've got those longer days. Beautiful. Darminder, thank you for the feedback. Always nice when everything's working as it should. It's Prickly's. Good afternoon to you. So in the queue, waiting patiently for takeoff. We've got a Delta A330-200 off to Seattle. Air Canada with their Dash 8 Dreamliner. That'll be going to Mumbai. United Airlines 777-200 bound for Houston. We've got an American heading off to LAX, another place we're very keen to visit with our live cameras. And of course the Thai Airways 777-300ER, beautiful livery on the Thai. Next heavy lining up now is American Airlines flight 39, that one at 777-300ER, destination is Miami. left bank for the American. If you're on the left side of that aircraft, you'd get a great view of both of Heathrow's runways, wouldn't you? Thai Airways next. What a beauty. Another American rolling already. Get a good impression of just how busy Heathrow departures can be. Just watching one for a few seconds, taking its bank in turn, and you'll miss the next. Trying to catch up with the chat. The JD.Live gifting 5 VIP lounge memberships. Super generous. Thank you, the JD.Live. Much appreciated. Of course, if you've received one of those gifted memberships and you're with us this afternoon, pop in and say hello. And a big thank you to the JD.Live. Right over the top of my head. Savage Killer, good afternoon to you. Hope you're well. Welcome to today's chilled aviation stream. Surrounded by the sights and sounds of the meadows just to the south of the airport. Watching these big planes climbing out from departure. Just enough cloud to keep things interesting when these planes are up in the sky. Sometimes when it's just plain blue, it looks like the plane's not moving. Next heavy departure will be United Airlines Flight 4, 777-200ER, off to Houston. She's lined up and ready to go. Number 2 to depart on the heavy front. Air Canada 787-8. I say on the heavy front because there's every chance one of these little short hauls will dive in for an intersect. JD Life, no problem at all. Thank you for your generous gifted memberships. American already rolling, or should I say Air Canada. Delta lined up, that's the 330-200 off to Seattle. Quite a few of these taking that left turn for the US. Means they'll travel up the spine of the UK before taking another left over the pond. Flirting with the clouds. Delta A330, closely followed by a Virgin Dreamliner that's already well into its takeoff roll. Next to depart will be United 919, that's a 777-200ER off to Washington. Quite a bit more cloud around now that we're heading into the afternoon, but nothing that looks threatening. All white fluffy stuff. Glenn's Aviation will be here till about 4, there or thereabouts. Hazel, good afternoon. Hope you're well. Rory Farish, good afternoon to you. Mark enjoying those climb out shots. Yeah, it makes for a very chilled afternoon, but just a completely different perspective on the planes here at Heathrow. Everything you see when you're doing arrivals is gear down. These ones just at the beginning of their journey. Middle East Airways heading off to Beirut. Beautiful United 767. We've got another one of those waiting to depart. Iceland Air. See, looking on radar out from T4 along the most southern of the taxiways. Little VistaJet Challenger 350. That's going to be way up, isn't it? Love seeing early rotations up at Luton. Nice 2-for-1 shot. Something in the cruise. Always lots of planes over London, not all involved with Heathrow. Lining up for departure, 09 right is American Airlines flight 79. It's a 777-200ER. Destination is Dallas. Another one making me point the camera straight up. Gorgeous. Gotta love the sound of those American 200s. Rasping engines on takeoff. Lined up, ready to go. British Airways flight 416. That one a little A320neo. Destination is Tenerife. Bearing down on that on the taxiway. It's a nice big 777-300ER. British Airways 281 to LAX. Mark Abram, wet at Luton tomorrow. Imagine that. We're going to try and squeeze another Luton stream in before we go off on our winter break. Looking at Tuesday at the moment, not confirmed. Dennis McLeod, good afternoon to you. doing me crust in. Don't hear that too often. Lottie Lou, good afternoon to you. Hope you're well. Off and away. Glenn's Aviation. Enjoy the rest of your working day. Hope you got the rest of the weekend off. So what have we got coming then? A couple of short hauls. We've got an Aer Lingus off to Dublin. British Airways before that. Roll in for Geneva. Nice big British Airways A380. That one's flight 107. Heading off to sunny Dubai, which is where we'll be in a week or so. Love these A380 takeoffs over the meadows here. Another super high short haul. Some great sounds as they disappear behind our position here. Real change in the note of the engines. So queuing up behind the beautiful British Airways A380, we've got a Sri Lankan Airlines A330-300. Also got a British Airways A350, seen a few of those already today. A Virgin 350 behind that. Delta's 767-400. Awaiting departure to Atlanta. Crazy busy on the taxiways, approaching the threshold for 09 right this afternoon. Short flight of an hour or so for this Aer Lingus. The little private Challenger 350 from VistaJet is now lining up 09 right. That will look tiny on this runway here at Heathrow, won't it? Tenerife is the destination for this little pocket rocket. Awesome, that is so high. I'll be catching up with the BA that was also off to Tenerife in no time, won't it? British Airways A380 lined up, ready for departure. Aslam Ibrahim, good afternoon to you. And good evening to Jimmy Boy, checking in from Australia. Hope you're well. Dan Addison in the house. Hope you're well, Dan. Right, BA 107 rolling, heading to Dubai. And away she goes to some nice, calm, warm weather. Next up, Sri Lankan Flight 506 off to Colombo. Beautiful A330-300. Great livery on the Sri Lankan as well. Very nice, Dan. Oh, Mary Lane had friends on that A380 off to Dubai. Well, I hope they have a great flight. that BA A380 departure took us into hour 2 of today's show. If you're enjoying the sights and sounds from here at the Meadows, there's lovely big jet climb outs. Don't forget to leave us a like. Lovely queue of heavies waiting to depart on the southern runway. British Airways A350. Behind that, the Virgin at A350. Delta 76. British Airways 777-200. Virgin Dreamliner. And a Virgin A330neo. All to come past our cameras here. This is a little Swiss heading to Zurich. Next up then, British Airways flight 191. It's the A350-1000, heading off to Austin in Texas. Just 3 years old for this A350. Ham, tomato and mayo. Good choice, Lizzie. Well folks, as I thought might be the case with these super light winds from the north, Heathrow have just announced they'll be switching operations to westerlies from 1:30 local, so just 20 minutes or so. landing on the northern runway, 27 right. Just waiting for that Virgin A350 noise to settle down a bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to call this stream done. I'm going to shoot round to the Renaissance, set up again, and then we'll finish off today's show, catching those nice close-up arrivals on the northern runway. So make sure you've got your notifications active, and we'll be back as soon as we can. Right, time to hot foot it round.